Hello, 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 my beloved souls. Blessed be, blessed day. Welcome back. I'm Autumn, the Enlightened daughter. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, welcome back. High Vibe Tribe. I love you guys so much. So, part two of this summer solstice energy coming through. We talked about the healing energy that's coming in. We talked about the blessings that are going to be coming in with it, right? And as I was in meditation, getting ready to connect with you guys, I had like a wave of like my ancestors come through. And I was like, okay, that's super dope. Like the ancestors are here, like really supporting. I'm telling you guys, like we talked about that creative energy that's really being supported right now. Like whatever that dream is, whatever that thing that's bubbling up inside of you that you can't, like, you really can't get away from, right? Like that energy is being so supported right now by the entire universe, right? Like the divine is working through you, trying to express itself. Your ancestors are coming through, like, yo, you got this. You incarnated with this. Like, don't forget, like, all the gifts that we gave you on your way to Earth. Like, it's time to start activating that. So, there's a lot of activations going on throughout this healing processes. Again, this morning I was out on a walk and I saw the number 9, right? So I don't know if you guys have been seeing like 999, 111, 333 has been heavy as well coming through for the collective, 444, obviously with our angels. But nines are about endings and completions and cycles coming to a close, right? And so there's this finality going on right now within the collective. And for a group of you, you're on the bridge. You're between the old cycle and the new cycle, and you haven't completely stepped into the new cycle yet, but you're like still closing out the end of the old one. And it can feel a little catastrophic. It can feel a little heavy. It can feel a little overwhelming, right? As you're just kind of swimming upstream. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Is this all going to work? And God is here being like, yes, you're on the right path. Like, don't give up. Like, you're almost there. You know what I mean? It's like you're the last person in the relay race, right? And it's like they finally passed the baton to you, and now you gotta like kickstart that energy, right? And so like initially, like you're waiting, you're kind of like jogging, waiting for the person to get to you. As soon as you get that freaking baton, you gotta sprint, right? And so that's a lot of that energy coming in too. It's like we've been pulled back, we've been isolated to heal, to grow, to be with when to be within our own thoughts, right? To hear our own mind, to hear the messages clearly from spirit. And then once we get that message, once we get a clear, decisive, definitive answer, we got to hit the ground running, right? We got to like haul ass. And so that's a big energy that's coming in right now, and you're being supported, right? Like they're pushing you forward. I keep seeing, they keep showing me like horses, like just like running, just like they're not just like trotting. These horses are out, like they're racing. You know what I mean? I just keep seeing that for everybody. It's like on your mark, get set. Like it's go time, guys. It's go time, and it's in the most beautiful way, right? And just ask that the grace of God is covering every area of your life, right? Ask for like definitive leads so that you're very clear about what you need to see. Whenever I ask the Most High for a message, I ask that it's repeated to me at least 3 times very clearly so that I know that that message is coming from my higher self, from the divine, and not from like the egoic self trying to just make things happen because I'm in fear energy or scared or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so I'm going to start with the ancestors because, like I said, they came through heavy during the meditation. Bottom of the deck, Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. All right. It's my Buffalo Calf Woman energy. So that's another card of abundance and prosperity. Love that. Thank you, angels. Thank you guys for being here with me in the collective at this time. What are some messages for us at this time? What does the solstice want to tell everyone? What do we need to know? What do we need to see? Beautiful ancestors. What do you want everyone to know and see at this time? All right. I'll take it. One card. Druid, hold the space. So again, this is the energy of like hermit energy, right? Isolation. Like this is really you sitting within your own energetic field. This is with you sitting within your own emotions and your feelings, right? This is also you holding that space for others that are going through this time of like healing and transformation, right? I I feel like people don't understand the power and the magnitude of saying prayers, right? Of holding someone in your heart, of holding them in your spirit. Like literally, it changes the game, right? Someone who is dying can be uplifted and healed in a miraculous way because we're joining together with our energies and saying prayers. So this is an energy, especially for those of you who resonate as like light workers and healers. Start holding space for people, right? Like within your energetic field, go into your meditations, go into the silence, go into the stillness, right? And just draw people into your heart. Just draw them into your heart. Like, I have a healing in my heart for such and such, and I have a healing in my heart for this person, or I have a healing over this relationship, right? Like, I ask God to bless this relationship. I ask God to bless this healing. I ask God to bless this person. I ask God to bless this situation, whatever it may be, right? But like really holding the energy in your heart. It might even help as well when you're in your stillness in your moments, right? To try to get your feet flat on the ground if you can, right? Barefoot would be even better. And put your hands literally over your heart. Left hand, right? Our receiving side, right hand, what we give out, and just draw that energy into your heart and just like hold space for yourself and for your healing and transformation, and hold space for your tribe, like your loved ones, right? Even if it's just like within your home or your building or your neighborhood. But that's going to be super transformative and powerful at this time. And as you're holding that space, that energetic field, right? It's like a magnet. So you're magnetized towards even more good, even more blessings, even more miracles to come your way. It's a really dope thing to do at this time. Beautiful. Thank you, God. Bottom of the deck, we have shaman. Trust the higher forces. All right. So we want to trust in the Most High God. We want to trust in our teams of light. We want to trust in the angels and the guides and our ancestors. Like, they're coming forward to help us. But it's up to us whether or not we're going to listen to that advice, right? And to be very discerning. We all have free will on this planet, right? So you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to. However, if I am looking at things from my perspective, I have a very limited, viewpoint. It's like even like in this camera, right? There's only so much that the camera is going to see. But if I take a step back, right, and I expand out, I'm going to see way more, right? There's like, I have the higher perspective. And so that's all they're in. They're just coming in and being like, hey, guys, like, know your own path. I know what you want. I know what's in your heart. Fantastic. But what you don't see coming around the corner is like, there's a detour, there's traffic, there's delay. So go this way, back up, and then go back around. And you're like, back up, go around. Like, why do I want to back up? Why would I want to turn back around? It doesn't make any sense. I need to go forward. And your guys are like, yo, just trust us. We're trying to save you like a half an hour. And there's like a truck stop, and it was like there's all this stuff that would be hindering you, and you don't know it because you don't see it. So then that's when we go into the stillness, and that's when it's like, something is telling me to go left. Something is telling me to go right. Something is telling me to call that person. Do those things. Follow those promptings, right? Those are life changes. And they're there and they're coming to you from divine, from spirit. And the promptings are going to get stronger and stronger to lead you along your way. Why? For your highest and greatest good. Our angels, our guides, always have our highest and greatest good in mind. Humans do too much, but humans do too much. But our guides are amazing. So thank you, angel guides, ancestors, beings of the purest light and highest vibration. What do we need to know? What do we need to see during the solstice? What are some messages for the collective? You guys already know whenever big things go on energetically, it's going to rain where I'm at. And it didn't rain on the solstice, but it rained all the way up to it for like 3 or 4 days. And then when I got back this morning, because, God loves me and held out while I was outside, it started monsooning. And I was like, yep, sounds about right. We got things going on, shifts happening. Sorry, guys, I have hair in my eye. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, oh, look, again with this healing energy, right? I told you guys, healing the past. I step into my future with strength and clarity. All right. So again, this is that healing energy that the solstice is bringing for everyone, right? We're all healing, especially when it comes to love and finances and kind of like the home. Like, we're all just like really getting back on our strong foundation, coming back into our sovereignty, remembering that we're luminous, remembering that we're children of God, and really giving our inner child an opportunity to heal. There's a lot that's being let go of at this time. Again, with that nine energy. Okay. Just saw 919. Proceeding slowly, softly. My inner power grows in moments of magnitude. I'm sorry, moments of quietude. So again, silence, hermit mode, right? That druid energy, right? Going within, being comfortable with your own voice, being comfortable with your own space, being comfortable with quiet. Like not having to fill in every sound every time, but just being comfortable with your own energies from time to time. It's super important. And when you get still, when you go into the quiet, when you quiet everything down, just concentrating on your breath or a guided meditation, however you choose to do it, right? Those messages become a lot clearer and they come a lot faster, right? Yesterday I was kind of like conflicted in my energies and I was getting frustrated and I just went outside into the garden and I was talking to the Most High and I'm like, what's really good? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, took me from this situation to this situation, fantastic. Now I'm here, but now I'm challenged with this. Like, can I like what's up? You know what I mean? And it was just like, and I got a very clear message, like you need to pull back and like let us bless you. Like you so busy doing too much, just take a step back for a second. I was like, okay. Took a step back, took a breath, took a breather, meditated for a little while, and then within like a half an hour, like five different things got answered at once. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. Because that's the grace of God in our lives, right? So sometimes we just got to get out of our own way. Okay. Sharing of yourself. I'm an incredibly generous being. I love this. This is sharing your time, your energy, your voice, your words, your guidance, um, the space, right? Like sometimes people don't need advice. Sometimes they just need a listening ear. Or sometimes they just need someone that's going to sit with them while they deal with it on their own, right? Just as a support system. Not everybody needs a freaking a fix it in their life, right? Sometimes people just need to know that they're not alone, right? And sometimes your energy is just that, a blessing. Okay. Bottom of the deck, communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. Wow. Ooh. So there's some crown chakra activations that are going on. Um, deep, heavy messages coming through. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God, my head's like boom, boom, boom. So for those of you that are sharing of yourself, look at this. I don't know if you can see it as clearly here, but when I see it, it looks like a violet cloud, right? So that's that crown chakra energy really opening up. That's when we have the mind of God, right? Like that's our energy connecting to our higher self. So a lot of healing, a lot of activation is going to be going on in that area. For some of you, so 12, 12. For some of you, you're going to be connecting telepathically with, you're going to have deeper telepathic connections, not only with spirit, but also with like animals. Like there's going to be a new resonance between you and animals. Maybe some of you work with animals or just like animals, have always loved animals, and it's gonna be different. For some of you, the healing energy that is being activated within you is because you're going to be helping to heal with animals. So maybe you guys are opening like a healing center, or you're working with a veterinarian, or you what do you call it, like rescue, like you get like a rescue dog or something, or you get an animal at the shelter. It's something like that. Like there's a big connection between you and animals, and that activating, healing, and guiding you in your journey as well. Okay. That was a big message that had to go through. I was like, oh my head, Lord. Communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. This is when we let our heart speak. This is letting our soul speak. This is, again, holding that space and drawing people into our heart and coming from our heart, right? Like our heart, our high heart is where our soul resides. So when we're making our decisions, our choices, we're communicating from that space, right? We're doing so in a heart-led conversation. It's like, I don't like to bash people, but I do not enjoy watching readers who clickbait people, who are like, oh, don't worry, they're getting their karma, and that's why they got an STD now, and that's why somebody stole. Like, that's not funny. That's not funny, and that's not nice. And that's not God moving through you and fucking with this person and making them get like some life debilitating disease or hit by a car, or like that's not God. Like I'm like, I don't know the God that y'all are serving. My God is pure love. And even if one of their kids made a mistake, they don't want no harm to come to them. Like if one of my kids fucks up, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's good for you that you got hit by a car. Like, what kind of fucking parent says that? Who does that? People do too much. That's what I'm saying. People do too much. So be very discerning of who you're sharing your energies with and who you're speaking to and how you're coming. Is it coming from the egoic mind, which is based in fear and condemnation and jealousy and bitterness and resentment and 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 all the other things that are low vibrational, or is it coming from your heart? Are you being heart led? God is not going to lead you through some petty bullshit. It's just not going to happen. Sorry. Didn't mean to flip. I mean, I did, but y'all know how I get. Watch your mouth when it comes to my mother, father, God. Anyway, all right, Gaia. What are some final messages for the collective that you want everyone to know about for this beautiful solstice energy? Okay. Wow. I mean, how many more ways can they tell us to just chill out? Stillness, right? Did you stop falling? Sorry, I got cards falling in my lap. Okay. Stillness, right? Quiet, quietude, solitude, isolation, hermit mode. Why? Because it's really important right now for people to be trusting their intuition. The solstice brings with it, the summer solstice here in the northern hemisphere has brought with it a lot of lights, right? And where there is light, my beautiful beloveds, my beautiful, beautiful beloveds, guess what? We're in a dual universe. Darkness is trying to hold on, darkness is fighting to just stay here. But when I walk into a room, there's no darkness anymore, right? It is pure, luminous, bright light, right? Now, when I walk out that room, it will feel a lot darker than it was before. But you can't add darkness into the room. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not cutting on darkness, I'm cutting on the light. All darkness is the absence of light. And so, light is coming onto this planet in droves, and the summer solstice has just brought a huge wave with it, a huge wave, a lot of light energy, and I'm sure many of you have been feeling it, right? Like I've had a ton of ascension symptoms, especially in relation to like the lower three chakras, right? The root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus. A lot of healing and transformation has been going through for that. Um, and I mean like at a massive, massive level. And if you're feeling it like within like, your knees or, like the old football injury, like we like to say, right? Your knees, your hips, what else? Your feet, right? Your ankles, all of that's going to be like root chakra stuff that's being pushed out. And what is our root chakra? Our safety, our stability, right? Our financial foundations are there, right? And so we need to get grounded. We need to be centered. We need to be solid. Um, So all of that coming through. Your sacral chakra coming through, right? So what is that? Like that's our divine feminine energy, right? That's the orange within us, our between our belly button and like our pubic bone. That's our sensuality, sexuality, creativity, right? So if you um ever if you ever miscarried, if you ever aborted, if you've ever had an STD, if you've ever had some type of sexual trauma, like all of that stuff is kind of being brought up again for you to heal and transmute it, right? For those of you who have been feeling blocked creatively blocked. Oh my lord, this Saturn freaking transit is whooping my freaking behind when it comes to communication. It's freaking pissing me off. It feels like a Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde, at least I know that it's coming, so I kind of like prep myself for it. But this like Saturn transit shit it's making me. Okay, anyway. So sacral chakra, right? So if you've been feeling like creative blocks, like that's being cleared right now, right? And our solar plexus, if you've had like an upset stomach, indigestion, diarrhea, constipation, your um bubble guts, like whatever that might be, right? Because our solar plexus is like our belly, right? That's our own internal sun. That's being super activated right now under this summer solstice, right? Because we have more light energy coming in, which means more light energy is being drawn within your solar plexus, more is being drawn within your third eye, and whatever is being whatever's been there blocking your solar plexus or blocking your third eye, all of that's being dissolved, disseminated, and cleared out, right? And so maybe you're going to be on the toilet for a little bit, right? Maybe you're like vomiting. You're like, what is happening, right? So just do what you can to stay grounded, to clear out those energies. Drink things with like electrolytes. I love water with like lemon and like pink Himalayan salt. If you can, if not, like Pedialyte will work to help like get some electrolytes into your body during this time. Eat grounding foods, things that are literally like coming from the herbs, our lettuces, our potatoes, like do what you can. I've been doing a ton of ginger and lemongrass teas lately, like big time, big time. Like I can't get enough of it. Anyway, okay, wolf instinct, right? Again, why do we go within? So we can hear our inner voice. We're at a time, and this is especially for those of you that are in between cycles, right? Like I'm a bridge between heaven and earth, and so I understand now that I'm constantly in between different cycles, but it's also as much for me as much as well as like me bringing people along the way. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a bridge walker, evidently. It's odd. It's whatever. It's probably why I'm always like dealing with cemeteries and death because I'm like, yeah, I get it. All right, anyway. Instinct. So this is about you trusting your inner voice, your instincts, your higher self, that still voice that barely speaks but is clear, right? Like God, the ego is loud. Your soul whispers, right? And so we have to get into the stillness. We have to get into quiet so that we can hear the whispering of the soul and trusting our instincts, right? Again, with those of you that are connecting with animals, like we have innate within our human DNA, right? Our own animal instincts. Know we know innately when to make moves, when to shift, what to eat, right? When we're trusting our intuition. But it's a matter of whether or not we're trusting our intuition. I can feel when the storms are coming. I know when the weather is going to change. I can sense within my body like whether or not that food is going to be good for me or not. You know what I mean? Like what I need to do. But that's all of us. It's not like I'm the exception to the rule. It's just that I happen to be paying attention. I happen to be tuned in. I ask God to make sure I never miss a trick, to always keep me aware, right, of what's going on. And I love my body. So I want my body to communicate with me to let me know what it needs to continue to feel love like that, right? But like that took me a long time. I'm fucking 45, guys. It's not like I was like this my whole life. No. I party, I did a lot of shit, I violated this beautiful vessel, and now I'm like, I'm so sorry. Real talk. All right, anyway, stone people, vigilance, right? Stand in your power, stand in your truth. The storms are gonna come, guys, but it doesn't mean that it should throw you. It really doesn't, right? So this is about you being like vigilant and strong and standing in your truth. And really, for a lot of you that are moving from this one cycle to the next, you're gonna have to hold your position. People are gonna talk some shit. You're gonna deal with opposition. The difference is, how are you gonna do it? Are you gonna stand there and dim your lights for everybody and just act like you're not who you are? Or are you gonna stand there and be okay to be isolated sometimes, to maybe have to take a step back from people, to allow your light and your life to be a reflection of heaven here on earth, so that people don't even have to ask questions. They're watching you and they're looking at you and they're seeing how it goes, how faith moves through you, how God is moving through you, how you have changed your life through connecting with the divine. And it doesn't need to look the same as somebody else. It doesn't mean that you need to be a nun or a pastor or a priest to walk with the Most High God. Not at all. Jesus was hanging out with murderers and bankers and thieves and fishermen and doing the damn thing, but everybody was moving with God. This is how God is moving through you as an individual here on this planet. You are a direct reflection. 2 3 3 3 3. I just saw a direct reflection of the Most High God, and you are also some of your ancestors. So it's time for you to like act accordingly, to stand out here and to own it. Be like, yes, I'm good with my energy. I love y'all, but I don't need to be around y'all all the time. Like sometimes I need a day to myself to go sit, be with the Most High. Get outside, get grounded, take a walk, go outside, get to the beach, put your feet in the earth, like whatever it is, like really connect with that energy and allow your light to shine bright. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be moving through your bodies. There's a lot of dense energy on this planet, and there's a lot of dense energies within our bodies just from our own incarnations and our own lineages, right? So just honor your body and see what that is, right? Like I had some like knee pains the other day, and I'm like, all right, that's about moving forward. our knees, right? And so like if there's any fear about moving forward, I have to push through it, right? And once I made the decision to like just push through and fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway, those pains start dissolving because it's like it's coming up for you to own it. Where are you stressing at? Where are you holding that stress in your body? Where are you holding onto blockages and fears and condemnation of yourself? 24444, right? And then final message, new moon with the promise. Look at this, right? We have nothing but blessings ahead of us. So take this minute, this time, this moment of what is that? Oh, it's autumnal equinox release. That's so funny. I'm like, what's that creeping out in the back? um, but take this time of isolation, of quiet, of solitude, of introspection to do just that, right? Don't allow yourself to be distracted. Allow yourself the time to be one with you, loving you, honoring you, respecting you, valuing you, hearing you, doing the thing that you need to do for you. You know what I mean? Be discerning with your energies. I'm very discerning with my energies. And I know sometimes that bothers people because it's like, I'm not always going to be available to answer the phone. I'm not always going to be, down to have these conversations. Like sometimes I just want to be one with myself. And I have children, like even my kids sometimes are like, Mommy needs to think. Like, give me a minute, and I'll go outside and like be one with the universe and talk to the Most High and like pour my energy out into the earth and like recalibrate and do it again. But like, I need to be good, strong, secure, and solidified before I can be of use to anybody else, right? Like I'm not going to keep pouring from my cup when the cup is empty. I'm not doing it anymore. I did that for a long time, self-sacrificial. You know how humans are. We think that we need to suffer or sacrifice or do all this other shit for God when God's like, yo, you were born and you're mine. Like that's good enough. You know what I mean? So no longer living that life. Pour into myself, then I pour into the collective with the overflow. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what we all need to be doing right now. Like really focus that energy. Again, we're all being drawn inside to heal, right? And this is like the, summer solstice is when people get social and energized and they're out and they're about. Fantastic. Do all the things, but don't forget to take those downtimes, right? And on the seventh day, God rested. Hello. The creator of everything took a day off. Why are you the exception to the rule, right? That part. Anyway. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Don't forget, I'm doing a 3 card special for 1111. You can find it on my website. And I also have some gigs on Fiverr if you guys need more readings or coaching options that are a little bit less pricey. I want to say I'll put the link down there. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Have a dope summer solstice. Have the dopest day of your life. You guys are everything to me. Thank you so much for being here with me, High Vibe Tribe. Keep spreading the word. Keep spreading your light. Keep shining bright. All the things. And get it. Later, my beloveds.